I remember the night the air itself felt like it was holding its breath. It had been one of those evenings in Austin when the sky blushed just before midnight, and the city hummed with the kind of low, inviting energy that made your skin tingle. I was at a club, the kind where the music didn't just play in your ears, but in your bones, where every movement of the crowd was a silent dance with strangers. I don't remember his name right away, not at first. He was just another face in the crowd, until his eyes found mine in the flickering strobe light. We didn't talk much that night, just the kind of easy silence that makes you wonder if someone already knows you. He had that quiet confidence, the kind that makes you lean in without even realizing it. And maybe it was the music, maybe it was the way his hand brushed mine when we reached for the same drink. But something inside me stirred, a longing I hadn't named yet, not even to myself. The next day, he messaged me. "Wanna watch the next episode with me?" he wrote. I knew the show. It was the one we both adored, the one that made you laugh and cringe in equal measure. It felt harmless, like sharing popcorn. But I could feel the unspoken in there too, the kind of silence that says, "I'm waiting." We met at a quiet Italian place, the kind where the scent of garlic and rosemary clung to your skin like a memory. The wine was warm in my throat, slow and deep, like a secret. I remember the way he looked at me over the rim of his glass, like he was seeing something just beneath my skin. I wasn't sure if it was me he was looking at, or the idea of me. After dinner, we went to his apartment. Not because I wanted to, exactly, but because the night had a pull, a gravity I couldn't resist. The TV flickered on as we settled in, and I lay on my stomach, the soft fabric of the bed pressing into my skin like a whisper. He knelt behind me, his presence a slow, steady heat. I felt the cool air on my skin as my clothes were pulled away, the soft touch of his hands like a promise I hadn't made. He moved his hands over me, slow and deliberate, like he was learning the shape of me by touch. The TV played on, the voices of characters long removed from my reality, but I wasn't really listening. I was listening to the rhythm of my breath, the way my skin tingled under his touch, the way my body betrayed me with soft sighs. I couldn't stop. He kissed the back of my neck, and I felt it all the way down to my toes. His fingers were gentle at first, then more insistent, like he was unraveling something I didn't know I was holding in. I closed my eyes and let the sensations take over. The way the world seemed to blur at the edges, like I was dissolving into the moment. I could feel his breath, his touch, the way my body responded like it had been waiting for this all along. He stopped. There was a pause, a moment of stillness that made my heart beat faster. I heard fabric rustling, the soft sound of something being unzipped. Then he was there again, pressing into me, his body a warm, solid weight. I tried to focus on the show, but the words meant nothing now. The screen was just a distant glow, while the real story played out in my skin, in my breath, in the way my body moved with his. He moved with a rhythm that matched the music in my chest, slow and sure. I couldn't look at him, but I felt his presence like a shadow over me. He whispered things, low and raw, like he was speaking directly to the part of me that had been waiting for someone to see it. I felt the heat build, like a storm rising in my chest, and I let it come, let it pass through me without resistance. And then it was over. He pulled away, and I felt the cool air again, like the world had inhaled and was now holding its breath. I sat up slowly, still dazed, still caught in the afterglow of something I couldn't quite name. The show had finished. I looked at the screen, at the characters who had no idea what had just happened. I felt like I was watching myself from a distance, like I had left my body and was watching the scene unfold. He smiled at me, not with satisfaction, but with something softer, a kind of knowing. I didn't say anything. I just sat there, my skin still alive with memory, my mind chasing the last traces of what had just been. I left his apartment a little after midnight. The city was quiet, the streets slick, with the kind of night that makes you feel like you could disappear. I walked past people laughing, past men who looked twice, past women who smiled like they knew something I didn't. I didn't look at them. I just kept walking. The taxi ride was quiet. I stared out the window, still catching glimpses of myself in the glass, my face, my hair, the way the city lights flickered in my eyes. The driver looked at me in the rearview mirror and gave a quiet chuckle. "Maybe you should wipe that off," he said, nodding at my forehead. I blinked, and the memory hit me like a wave. I had missed it. The last traces, the final drops that clung to me like a secret I hadn't noticed until now. I looked at my reflection in my phone, the way the light caught the softest hints of something I hadn't planned to carry with me. I smiled. It was embarrassing, yes, but it was also something else. Something I hadn't felt in a long time. I'm Leela Moore. I'm 25, and I live in Austin, Texas. I don't tell many people that, not yet, but I want to. I want to tell someone how the night felt, how the air tasted like possibility, how the city felt like a character in the story I didn't know I was writing. I didn't go to bed that night. I sat on the balcony, the wind in my hair, the city lights below me. And I thought about the way his hands had moved, the way his breath had felt on my skin, the way I had let go. There's something in me now that I hadn't known was there. A hunger, a craving, a need to feel that again. Not the same. Never the same. But something close. Something that makes my skin tingle and my breath catch. And I wonder, as I close my eyes and let the night wrap around me like a soft, dark blanket, if the next time will come sooner than I expect.